Hi there guys, Vino here and welcome to this Vino Plunk production. And as you can probably tell from the setup, this is a bit of a different perspective and a bit of a different thing. So what I'm trying here is I've got a Lenovo ThinkPad Chromebook and I'm giving it a go with the camera with my HyperX Cloud headset and see if I like this setup a little bit better. I mean, I can see myself really well. I can, use the camera and it's pretty good quality camera. It's an HD camera, so I can use that. I'm just seeing how this functions, how this works to see if I may want to use this in the future as a way of recording videos. I do have with me, I do have with me a nice cup of tea. Actually, no, it's a cup of coffee. I apologize. Cup of coffee in the mascot mug. Anybody who remembers this mug is the mascot mug with Goku Hyokin it up. Not Hyokin. Kaioken it in Kaioken it in it up. Try and say that 10 times fast. Hyokai can't. Just can't. I do have a nice cup of coffee with me, and it is glorious. I tell you, that is actually a really nice cup of coffee, which is oh, I kind of tipped my hand to something that I'm going to be showing off in a little bit. So one thing I'm going to say before I progress any further is I'm in a bit of a weird mood at the moment, due to various reasons that I'm not necessarily going to get into, but we're going to speed along with this video and talk about the main subject of this video. The main subject of this video is contained within this pouch. So what is contained within this pouch is something that's actually near and dear to my heart, and I'm going to get it out now to sort of evaporate the mystery, and it is the PSP. This is actually my original ceramic white PSP that I bought just before my 18th birthday. So I had a party for my 18th birthday, and I've just I thought the thumbstick had broken. Anyway, so I had a party for my 18th birthday. Also, for my 18th birthday, I was given a motorbike a few weeks, actually a few months before my 18th birthday from a very good family friend. And long story short, people knew about this obviously. And at my party, a lot of people gave me money to basically repair the bike. But it just so happens, literally a couple of days before my party, I'd actually bought and got fitted the last thing I needed for the bike. So what I decided to do with my birthday money is go down and buy a PSP. Now this PSP has gone in and out of my possession and my dad's possession, and it's even travelled on a plane to a different country. I think South Africa. I can't quite remember what country it went to, but it did go to a country and it suffered an injury as a result, and I can't actually find the injury that it suffered right now. On one of the corners of the screen, there's like a chip on one of the corners of the screen because the person that took it on holiday with them, which was a colleague's son, they were playing with it basically, and they jumped or jerked or something, and the corner of the screen hit the table. The on a plane where you've got the flip down thing in front on the seat behind. That flipped down and yeah, damaged the screen. That's do I go into that? Do I go into that story right here, right now? Let's just say that the father and the son, for that matter, were very blasé when he gave me the PSP back in such a way that how can I go? But it was very blasé. It was very, oh, there's your PSP back. Upon further inspection, I realised that there's a reason why he was like that, and I think it was because he wasn't trying to draw attention to the fact it had broken. I, when I discovered the damage, brought the PSP back into work, walked up to him, and went, "Yeah, this wasn't here before, before your son left for South Africa." Long story short, he knew about it. The way he acted, the way he behaved, he knew about it. Kind of tried to play it off that he didn't, but he knew about it. And long story short, I finally, I think, got some money from it. I think to help pay for it. I ended up going out and buying a PSP 3000 at the time, which is no longer in my possession. However, this still is in my possession, which speaks a lot. Anyway, that's a bit of a tangent I went on. Let's carry on. So this is very near and dear to my heart. Anybody that knows the PSP and the PSP community knows this has been hacked, cracked, everything else within the nature of its life. My PSP is hacked. And the main reason, the main thing I used my hacked PSP for, and it's going to call me a liar because I don't think I've got the right memory stick in there, is for emulation. Now I've got the Space Invaders theme on there, which I quite enjoy, but I actually like playing the emulators on here. At one point I had all of the CPS, which is the Capcom, was it the CSPS? It's the arcade system that Capcom used back in the day. I had those emulators on here. I had a SNES emulator. I had Mega Drive. I had all the different emulators. I had a MAME emulator. The reason why I'm sort of air quotes is because I never actually got the MAME emulator itself to work, but I was using the CSPS, whatever it's called, that emulator, and I was playing things like Captain Commando. Um, my mind then goes blank for any Capcom arcade games, Street Fighter, The Punisher, those sorts of games, and I was really enjoying playing those games, and I still enjoy playing those games on my PSP. So recently, there recently I had a tidy up, basically, because I had to, because we had a bit of a house visit, and during that tidy up, I came across my PSP. Once again, dug it out and started really playing it. Now I was playing a game when I last put it away, and I don't actually have that game on me right now, because I seem to have misplaced it. And that game is Final Fantasy IV Complete Edition or Complete Collection, I think it's called. That particular game, I was under the illusion it was rare at one point because I bought it from Play.com from a seller for a tenner. That all rhymes. Play.com from a seller for a tenner. And the reason why I sort of recount it like that is because if you looked on eBay or Amazon and other places, it was going for quite a bit of money. I'm talking like 50, 60, 70 pound in some respects. Plus, it's the only place for a while you could get the final chapter included within it. So I blapped that up. I was playing that quite avidly for a while, but I seem to have misplaced my UND. Anyway, so I have recently been playing my PSP quite a bit. And one game I've actually been playing on there quite a bit is actually FIFA 09. I actually quite enjoy playing the FIFA games, the older FIFA games. Plus, you can get these dirt cheap in pawn shops and charity shops and thrift stores, all that kind of stuff. This actually came with the PSP. There was a little pack that included this, the PSP, and wait for it, wait for it, and it also contained this luminous green memory card. Now, one thing you'll notice, actually, I've just realised about this luminous green memory card is, oh, maybe SanDisk were the like official, maybe SanDisk were the official partner of the Memory Stick Pro Duo. So the Memory Stick Pro Duo, a lot of people say this was a proprietary format for the PSP. Actually, it wasn't. So the Memory Stick Pro, not the Duo, was a series of memory cards that Sony used in laptops, cameras, stuff like that. The Pro Duo was basically just a modernization and a minimization of that same technology and that same memory card. They just happened to use it for their PSP. Anyway, the reason why I was looking through here is actually this 4 gig memory card is actually branded Sony and is a Sony memory card. But you'll notice that when I show you this one, it says SanDisk on it, which is quite interesting. The reason why it's quite interesting is because when the Memory Stick Pro Duo, when it was out with the PSP, it was a proprietary format to the PSP. Or I should not say proprietary, exclusive format to the PSP. So Sony could charge what they wanted for the memory cards because no one else could manufacture them, or only licensed manufacturers could make them, i.e. SanDisk. However, the patent ran out, or the exclusivity ran out, whatever legal thing ran out, and Sony could no longer charge consumers and the license fee for manufacturing them. So every company on the planet started making Memory Stick Pro Duos, which is why they're now cheapest chips, and the PSP is a worthwhile console. I still say to this day that a PSP is one of the best emulator handhelds you can get. All these other, the GPX XD and the GPSPS and any other emulator handheld that's out there, the Game Gadget, there are so many out there at the moment. Yes, they are very good for what they are, but the PSP, guys, it can still run emulators really well. And because it's so old by today's standards, um, there's so much experience in the scene, in the homebrew scene and the hack scene with a PSP that people have gotten emulators working here almost perfectly. So check it out. However, I was watching YouTube, as I often do, and came across a video in my subscription box, and that video was talking about the PSP's successor, which was the PS Vita, if you weren't aware. And for a couple of weeks now, actually for more than a couple of weeks, for about a month now, I've really wanted a PS Vita. Well, that want turned into, I'm not going to say a need, but a desire. Okay, turning into a desire, and I may or may not have gone out and bought a Vita. So what I did last weekend, it's currently, as my watch is updating itself. Hang on, I'll try and work out what date it is in a minute on my watch is. It's Wednesday the 7th of October 2020. So what I did is last weekend I went out and traded some box sets into CX to supplement the cost of a PS Vita. Why? To be honest, I don't know. A couple of the box sets I didn't like the packaging for, so I trade them into CX to get a PS Vita, and down the road I'll buy the packaging I want from eBay at some point down the road. The other box sets that I sold simply because I wouldn't need a bit of extra money for the Vita, because funds in the bank weren't as fluid as I would have liked, or free as I would have liked. So I need to trade a couple more things to get the Vita. Plus, I went for a Vita Slim rather than the OG Vita, which was a little bit more expensive. So there we go. So yes, I went out and decided to get a PS Vita Slim. And the reason why I specify that this is the Slim is because the OG Vita has an OLED screen. This has an LCD screen. And there are some snobs out there. I'm just going to say it. I was one for a while. I was a snob for a while. There are so many people out there that they poo-poo the LCD screen of the Slim. Now, as I just said, I was one of these people until I got a Slim. I think I'm on a convert now. I think I'm a Slim convert. The Slim is such a nice, sexy, sleek console. Even now in 2020. The PS Vita originally came out in 2012. The Slim, I think, in 2014. I think I can't remember quite when the Slim came out, but even now, years later, it still looks like it could have been released yesterday. It's such a sleek, nice looking system. Whereas the OG Vita is starting to look a bit long in the tooth. It's actually, its design is not far off a regular PSP, just Vitaized, if you will. But this just looks so good. I'm so chuffed I went for the Slim. I got this home and then proceeded to hack it, put HN Core on here, which I'll now show you. But there is HN Core. I have it on there, and my Vita is hacked. Plus, you can see some other things on there. I've got auto plugin, Vita Shell, and some games that I've downloaded from my own catalog, my own collection, if you will. However, I'm going to turn it off because the noise is bugging me ever so slightly. As I realised I've tilted the camera in the wrong way. So I kind of tipped my hand earlier with something that I wanted to talk about. And what I wanted to talk about was this. This is the SD to Vita, the micro SD converter for the Vita to be able to use SD cards with a Vita. Why is this so important? If you don't know, memory cards for the Vita are stupidly expensive. Even now, in fact, they're more expensive now than they were because supply and demand and yada 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 economics, basically. So, memory cards are astronomically expensive. SD cards aren't. To give you a bit of contrast, you can buy a 64 gig card. I think it's £80 off CX. A 60 gig Vita memory card off CX, like £80. 64 gig micro SD card, maybe a tenner, probably less than that these days. They are so cheap, and there's such a stark contrast that if you know what you're doing, why wouldn't you hack a Vita these days? However, I'm here to tell you that this son of a bitch took me, and I'm not even lying when I say this, 10 hours to get sorted. I don't know if I missed a step somewhere with the tutorial that I was watching or something like that, but this took me 9 hours to finally get working, and it now works, and I'm happy, and I was so over the moon. The reason why I was so over the moon is the last Vita that I impulsively got from CX. I tried the same thing. I tried to get this SD to Vita working, and it just wouldn't work. It just wouldn't play ball. Wasn't having any of it. Nah. I literally a week later took the Vita back down to CX, traded it in, and washed my hands of it. Put this, obviously, without the SD card, on a shelf somewhere, and just let it collect dust. For how many years it's now been collecting dust. I finally managed to get it running on the Vita, and I couldn't be happier if I tried. I'm actually going to stick this in with the Vita so I don't lose it. So that's what I went ahead and decided to buy this weekend, trading a few things that I wasn't necessarily watching or doing much with, and got a Vita with the by paying a bit of cash. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about in this video. I'm going to slurp my coffee a bit more. Anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully the new way of recording videos is satisfactory to you. If not, let me know in the comment section down below, and I can tweak things and do things that may allow this to be a bit of a better experience for all of us. Anyway, guys, until next time, please take care, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day. Ta-ra.